Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about Tar. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Our leading lady here, Kate Blanchett. She's been in a lot of stuff. I mean, like a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of recognizable stuff, a lot of pop culture stuff. And we're going to have to go through this pretty fast. So we're just gonna, cherry pick the more notable movies here. The first thing that pops up immediately is Lord of the Rings, as she was Galadriel in those movies, and the Hobbit trilogy too. And if that name sounds familiar, Galadriel, that's basically her. That character, at least the younger version of that character, is essentially the face of Rings of Power on Amazon. I haven't seen Rings of Power. I've heard things about it that, you know, give me the no desire to watch it. And besides, I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan, so why would that appeal to me anyway? But yeah, like when I saw like Galadriel, I was like, oh, Rings of Power. I was like the immediate connection there. But yeah, Kate Blanchett, portrayed the original Galadriel in live action form in Peter Jackson's Middle Earth movies. So there's those. Let's see what else we got. Aviator. Let's see. Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Babel. Indiana Jones 4. Oh, oh no. Yeah, the Indiana Jones movie with Nuke in the Fridge, aliens, crappy CGI gophers. This is a bad time. Time will tell if this will still be the worst Indiana Jones movie when Indiana Jones 5 comes out. Who knows what that'll be like, but ugh. Indiana Jones 4, that is a movie to forget. Definitely. Yeah, oh, there's also Curious Case of Benjamin Button. That's a much better movie, but rather you watch that. There's that. What else? The Robin Hood movie from 2010. Hannah. I already mentioned Lord of the Rings. Uh, the Cinderella 2015 movie from Disney. Carol. Thor Ragnarok as Hela. Yeah. That's definitely. Well, I was about to say the biggest, but obviously, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies made more money. There's Ocean's 8. It's really the House of a Clock in its walls. It's really it. But yeah, lots of recognizable stuff. So she's very much a recognizable actress, which I'd say is a positive here, especially considering this is it's almost like a showcase for her, and it's definitely gonna at least give her at least an Oscar nomination. I don't know about a win, but a nomination at least. So I'd say Kate Blanchett's presence here, I would consider it to be a pro. Another pro are the reviews. The reviews are pretty great. It's at 94% critic score. How can I call that a con? Like under any circumstance. And its audience score is 76%, which it's not incredible, but it's still pretty solid, all things considered. So word of mouth definitely won't be a problem here. So I can easily label that as a pro. Another pro is that obviously this is being like positioned as like a prestige pick, like a Oscar Beatty esque film where it has like a limited start and then it expands over time. Word of mouth supposed to like gradually build. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Kind of depends on like the movie. But with Tar, it's done all right. Its per theater average is like 39K, which solid enough. Nothing amazing, but still okay. And its per theater averages since when it's expanded for like 36 theaters, 141 theater, 141 theaters. Still all right. So it's made like well over $1 million and like not even like 200 theaters, which I say is pretty decent. So yeah, I'd say these numbers are all right for like a prestige pick and it's like limited run. So I consider that to be a pro, albeit a more relative pro. Because prestige picks they don't always go the way they're supposed to. They don't always hit home runs, but so far things look fine here. I think that's it with pros as far as I know. Yeah, I think that's it. So cons. I think one of the biggest things holding this movie back is the subject matter because it's primarily about you know this composer conductor, right? Like there's like a whole symphony, you've seen this, like a whole symphony of like, instruments and, everyone there, and they have the one person conducting everything, that's basically Kate Blanchett, like who she is in the movie. Like her character, well, like the person she's portraying, uh, Lydia Tarr, she's considered like one of the greatest living composer conductors. So I don't know. It feels kind of niche. I don't think it has broad appeal compared to like other things, like say Black Swan, for instance, or like Whiplash, for another example. Because this is considered like a more of a psychological movie, and Black Swan and Whiplash are definitely psychological, but especially Black Swan. But Black Swan is about ballet. Whiplash is about drumming, right? Those are like more recognizable or like more mainstream than conducting, being a conductor. So yeah, I feel like that'll definitely hold the movie back. So I'm gonna consider that to be a con. The fact that it could, the subject matter is kind of niche in the grand scheme of things. Another con is the fact that prestige picks sometimes they go really well. They have a big opening weekend and they have like insane legs. There's plenty of examples of those. I mean, freaking Black Swan. That's one that had a limited start and it made over like 100 million domestic, like 300 million worldwide. That was a big hit. And there's like so many others that I can think of, like off the top of my head: American Sniper, Hidden Figures, La La Land, 1917, just to name a few. But sometimes they don't go great. Take for example Steve Jobs, from 2015 with Michael Fassbender. Despite that movie being very very good, it kind of had a botched rollout. Some would say it had a botched rollout, and it ultimately tanked, which is a damn shame because it deserved better. So, yeah, and there's been plenty of like limited releases that just never really went anywhere. And, it's hard to say if this will be in that category, but it's still something to note. Limited releases or like prestige releases, they can backfire quite badly. But that's kind of like a case by case basis. So, but I'm still gonna label that as a con. The fact that these don't always go turn out too great. Another con is that this is going up directly against another prestige pick in the form of Till. Granted, that movie has a. I feel like both movies are kind of going towards like different audiences, but different types of particular audiences. But they're both still prestige picks. And when you have two prestige picks go up against each other, that's usually not a good thing. They can it's like how you're not supposed to have like two movies of the same genre go up against each other directly at once because all they're going to do is hurt each other and nobody wins. And here we might see that, but I feel like it'll hurt Tar more than Till because Till is a bit more mainstream friendly by like a relatively more mainstream friendly. So yeah, that might hurt Tar too. So going up against Till, another prestige pick, that I would consider that to be a con. Another con is that again, as I mentioned with Call Jane, the last weekend of October is historically slow. It just is. Like no one like as I said, October is usually like very front loaded where the most important movies they open the first few weeks, like the first 2 weeks. Maybe you have a big one the third week, and then the fourth week or fifth week they don't care anymore and they give up. That happens all the time. So yeah, and this year is no exception at all. So yeah, the weekend isn't great. I mean, next weekend is pretty quiet. I mean, all there really is like the One Piece film Red and like another Oscar baiting movie, Armageddon Time. And then the week after that is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and I have no doubt that that movie's gonna do some damage to every movie that's currently out right now. So yeah, timing isn't ideal here. So I would consider that to be a con. And I think that's it. I think that's it. So opening weekend, I mean, how many theaters is this opening in? I don't think it's a whole lot, but I'm gonna check. Let me see. Only 1,000 theaters. Okay. Literally about the same as Call Jane. Although I think this will do better than Call Jane. Because this has a bit more publicity surrounding it. So I'm gonna go for an opening weekend of I don't know, I'm gonna 2 to 3 million opening weekend. Or at least it's like first wide opening weekend. And it's total that's hard to say really. 10, probably less than 10, but I'm just gonna go with 10 as like a general number because I suck when it comes to predicting like limited releases going wide. It's very hard to tell like if it'll have good legs, bad legs, very hard. So I'm just gonna go 10 generally for its final total, and then that's it. So one more movie to talk about. I already mentioned it earlier, Till. And then that'll be it for October. Woo. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to, but yeah, anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? Got playlists on the homepage of all previous prediction videos I made this year, all the big movies, the smaller movies. Now I've reached a point where it's a lot of Oscar baity movies. So I don't know the ones that I've really done. At least I'm trying to think of ones that I've done before this year. Uh, I guess Woman King could be an Oscar baity movie in a way. So I guess there's that. Trying to think of some others. I'm struggling. I can't think of any at the moment. But yeah, I've covered plenty of smaller movies, so you want to watch any of those, go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Never covered Tar once, so there's that. But I've made like 163 episodes, so it's plenty to choose from. So if you want to watch any of those, go right ahead. Binge it all from beginning to now. I highly encourage it, so go do it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. October recap should come out within the first 2 weeks of November, I'd say. I'm not exactly looking forward to it because there wasn't a whole lot of positives this month, but we still have interesting things to talk about though. But that should come out in the first 2 weeks of November, realistically. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.